one of the issues with pumped hydro we've got is finding sites. I know of a few sites around, but there's not that many. I'm told that down in Tasmania, where they've got genuine hydro, they were talking about this Battery of Australia project, they called it, and I think they had 7 sites they were investigating. I'm told only 2 of them stack up. So I'd say that we probably agree that we need more sites for pumped hydro, and we need to do something about that as quickly as we can, because getting a dam approved in any sort of reasonable time period is very difficult. I've got a friend who's doing a dam up behind Bowen. I've got a memory lapse on the name of it. It's got about 8 hours, I think it is, worth of about 700 megawatt hours. So it's about 5,600 megawatt hours. So he's not even sure that that's going to come off. He's got a problem with a bum-breathing turtle, which might put the whole thing on hold. But there's not that many sites around. Though in the last election, the LNP promised 2 gigawatts of hydro up in what they called the new Bradfield Scheme. Now, I never dug into that to find out whether that was realistic or not. It might have just been pulled off the top of their head, but I understand there is a fair bit of water runs down some of those North Queensland rivers on a reliable basis. So that could also be something that we agree might be a good thing to do.
Yep. Hugh wants to get his hand up. Yep.
Just on the hydro stuff, I think it's maybe, and I didn't realise until relatively recently, these pumped hydro storage facilities can be relatively small. So I'd have to say that I'm not an enormous fan of gigantic dams. Why? Because they fill full of silt, and they cause enormous problems for entire river systems. So we're already pushing many of our river systems to the edge. So if pumped hydro, I think, the Baramba Dam they're talking about, these aren't enormous dams. You can get a lot of pumped hydro out of small storage facilities, even 20 or 30 hectare dams. The giga dams are threatening many aspects of Queensland hydrology, and one of our biggest problems is, like, the Burdekin is the biggest system close to the size and volume of the Murray-Darling Basin. Everybody thinks, why can't we just fill it full of dams and have lots of hydroelectricity and stuff like that? There's also enormous siltation rates. So many of our dams fill up at around about 0.5% to 1% a year. What do you do with that? So the world's dams volume is going down across the planet, despite all these dams. So and many of the times we don't actually have an integrated plan to put those dams in. So they get assessed one by one, whereas you can't assess a dam one by one. You've got to assess all the future dams that could, say, go into the Burdekin, and then work out which one is most appropriate. One of the tricks is called pumped augmentation, where you actually have one dam and you take water from 1 or 2 other river systems nearby, a bit like not quite the Bradfield Scheme, but you move water around so you can actually have a smaller numbers of dams but use excess water on surplus flows from other dams, which is a great thing to do. That said, be careful Googling pumped augmentation. So don't go home and do it on your personal computer. It is a valid hydrological term, an engineering term, but it also,